Hello guys, welcome back to Angular 6 Plus tutorial. This is Felix. Today I will talk about Angular Forms. The core functionality of every web application is to collect user inputted data and saving them in a database. For example, signing users up, subscribing to an event or newsletter, booking appointments, and many more. Using web forms, you can perform countless data entry tasks. Now, you don't create forms anyhow, but it is very important to guide the user effectively and efficiently through the workflow. We have many types of forms in Angular, but in this video, I will talk about 3 of them, as I told you in the last video. The first one is the two-way data binding, the second one is the template-driven form, and then the third one is the reactive form. Now let's begin. Now you can see on my page I have nothing here. Here, that is in my app.model.ts, we need to import one thing. We need to import what you call forms model, so that those functionalities we need in order to perform or in order to create our form becomes available to our app model here. So here, let's import what you call forms model from Angular Forms. Let's say forms model from at Angular Forms. Now here we need to copy this and then you paste it here, so that functionalities in this model becomes available to our app model too. So let's save it. Now let's come to our business logic here. Now here, let's create a variable. Let's say username, the type of string. Now let me initialize it by assigning a value. Let's say Solomon. Now save it and copy this. Then let's come to our HTML. Here, let's add a form tag. Now inside it, let's add one input field. Say type text, say name, username. Then here we need to bind this username variable to our input field here by doing this ng model, which is equal to our variable name. Let's save it. Okay, so now we have our input field here. Inside it, we have Solomon. So data is flowing from this variable to our input field here. Now here, let me write a p tag. Then here, let me interpolate this. Let's save it. Okay, so now we have Solomon here, and then we have Solomon here too. Now let me add something to this. Let's say, so now you can see any changes made here also affect this text. So data is flowing back from this input field to our variable here. That is to our variable here. Now let's compare this to our traditional JavaScript style. Now here I have my input field here. Now upon key up, I invoke this method. We pass what is inside this text field. Then here we find this div by calling document.getElement by id. Then inner HTML is equal to the value entered in this particular input field. This is a long way, but here Angular has made it very, very simple for us, right? So here, with the help of this ng model, data flows back and forth from here to this variable, and from this variable to this input field. So that is how the two-way data binding works. Now let's move on to the template driven form. Now here, let me delete this. Let me delete this too. Then here, let me copy this then here let me say password, and here let me add a placeholder, say enter username, then here too let's say placeholder, let's say enter password, right? Then here let me add a button type, make sure it is submit, then here let's say save data. Now here we need to add something here. We need to add a selector. Let's say my form. You can give it any name. Then here you say ng form. Then here we need to add an event. It's a ng submit, which is equal to save data. Then here we copy my form selector here, then here we paste it here. So this save data is going to be invoked when this button submit button is clicked, and this my form selector here is going to hold these values as in the form of key value pairs. So now username, now here let me make password. So now here username is going to hold any value entered in it, and this password is also going to hold anything entered in this input field, right? Now here let me save this, let me copy this save data, then here I say form values, then here let console log this, I say console.log, say form values, then dot value, then here let me add a key, I say my values, let's save it. Okay, so now we have our two inputs for that is username and password, and then we have our save button here. Now let me go to my console, let me type something. You can see there is nothing inside it. There's nothing inside it because these input fields are not registered as part of this my form. So now to register this control as part of this my form, we need to add something here. It's called ng model. Then here you say ng model. Here we are not surrounding this like this, right? So we remove this, then let's save it. Now let's enter something here, say Felix, then here let me say 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now let's click on this, bam. Now you can see we have password and then username. Password is holding 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then username is holding Felix. So now here let me remove this, save it. Let's say Andrew, let's say 1 2 3 4 5, save. Now you can see we have only username, that is Andrew. This is because this password input field is not registered as part of this my form, right? Okay, so now let's bring it back. Now here you can perform validations, that is when these fields are empty. If these fields are empty, we are going to disable this button so that we cannot click on this. So now here you say required, you say required, then here you copy my form, right? Then here you say disabled. If my form, right, valid. Here you say if my form is not, right? Let's save it. Now you can see our button is disabled. Now let me enter something here. Still it is disabled. Let me write something. Now you can see it is enabled. Now we can click on it. Okay, Now what if you want to reset your form in here? Here, to reset your form is a form value dot reset. You save it. Here let me say Solomon, then here let me say 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's click on it. Now you can see we have username Solomon here and password 1 2 3 4 5 6, but our form is reset. There's nothing in it because we called forms value dot reset. Okay, so that is how template driven form works. You create an event here, you add an ng submit event, you pass your method, then here you add a selector which is equal to ng form, then this selector will be holding your values in key value pairs, then here you add this form, that is you pass your values in this to this method, then here you add a submit button which will invoke this when it is clicked. Okay, so now let's move on to the reactive form. Okay, so now here we need to import what we call reactive forms model. You say reactive forms model, then here you copy this, you come here, and you save it so that reactive forms model functionality becomes available to our app model here. Right now let's come here. Here we need to import some few things. Say import from Angular forms, right? Then here we are going to import forms builder. Say form builder and forms group and form group, right? Now here let's create a variable. Let's say my form, which is form group, right? Then here we need to inject this form builder here. Now let's say public form, the form builder. Then here that is on ng on init. Here we set our form. You say this dot my form is equal to this dot this form, that is this form dot group. Then here we need to add our fields here. Okay, so now here you say name. Let's copy this username, then here you paste it, then here you can add a default value to it. You see password, add it. Now here let me add a default value, let's say Felix. You save it. Now here copy my form. Let's come here. Now here instead of this you are going to remove this, then here you say form group, then we paste our my form variable here. Okay, then here you are going to remove all this. Then here instead of name you are going to say form control name, right? Copy this, paste it. Now let's remove this. Okay, here we are not now here we are not going to pass anything inside it. Now let's save it. Then here my form, then here instead of form values you are going to say this dot my form dot value. Then we reset it here, say this dot my form dot reset, right? Let's save it. Okay, so now we have our name, that is which is pulling from this default value here. Then here, let's say 1 2 3 4 5. Save it. Bam. Now we have name Felix, user and password 1 2 3 4 5. Now let me make a changes to it. Let's say Solomon Akoto. Here let me say Andrew, right? Let me save it. Now here we have Solomon Akoto, password we have Andrew. Here now our form is reset by calling this.myform.reset, right? Now here you can also perform validation. Here you need to import one thing. Let's say validators, which is this. Then here you say comma, and say validators dot required. And here you say validators dot required. You save it. Then you copy my form. Then here you say disabled if my form is not valid. You save it. Now let's see. Okay, so now you can see it is disabled. Now let me enter something here, and then here too let me enter something here. You can see it is enabled. Now we can click on it. So now that is how reactive form also works. Now the choice is yours. Are you going for two-way data binding? Are you going for that is template driving form or reactive form? If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, share this video, and then like this video. In my next tutorial, I will talk about how we can send these values to our API by creating a provider service. Here, that is creating a provider service which we can use. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.